Now we're live.
Now we're live. Welcome, everyone. This is episode fucking 150.
No way, I can't believe it. We made it. Dude, we've been doing the show 3 years at this point. Kind of crazy, right?
Just for this occasion, and by this occasion, I mean I just typed it in Wikipedia 10 seconds before we started. 150 is the sum of 8 consecutive prime numbers. 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 17 plus 19 plus 23 plus 29 plus 31.
It's a lot of numbers.
It is. Let's see if there's any other notable... Yeah, no, 150 is pretty boring. That's about it.
I think it was May of 23. That was the first episode that dropped. So it's been, about 3 years. Not exactly on this date, but just about 3 years. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, and we only have 35 picks each? Something like that?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, not that many when you look back.
No, it's actually not a lot, but it was a lot of episodes, and then plus all the guest episodes, they all just kind of added up.
Well, don't worry. This episode in the last 2 weeks more than makes up because we all had like a dozen picks per episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the poor bands that don't get their dedicated episodes.
Oh, I know. But that's okay. I mean, they were mentioned, so whatever.
Yeah, that's enough, guys. Don't be greedy.
That's enough. And I remember Shannon was like, you guys should do like genre specific episodes or something blah blah specific episodes. I'm still down to do a little bit more. We kind of just did that leading up to 150, and this happens to just land on like the last of this block. Didn't plan it out that way, but it just ended up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, then 151 will be back on a guest episode, and then Paul will be doing a couple episodes without us, I think. He already planned them out.
Yeah, boys wanted to take a break and...
Yeah, I want to take a little break. It's 150. I feel like taking a little break, maybe a couple weeks, whatever.
Paul, are you going to be having guests or are you just going to monologue?
Some guests.
I was kind of hoping for a monologue, not going to lie.
Not too good at that.
That's why I was hoping for it.
You could just write a script.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
That's okay.
Why would that be terrible?
Wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, man.
Just think of it as
homework.
A radio show. Which is exactly what we're doing.
This is Bunsen Burner Radio.
I don't know.
Radio.
Going through the what we have planned for tonight's episode, I probably could have monologued this whole thing.
Yeah, we put Freddie to work.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Fred. You'll get your chance to monologue in a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get there. Don't worry. Do not worry. I've never had a stack of music next to me this big for an episode.
Mm. Yeah, in Bunsen Burner news, banned from posting on YouTube for 2 weeks. It's so stupid. What's so dumb about this is I think the episode where we had Jub on, I was talking about that. We were talking about these community guideline strikes, and then Fred's like, "Hey, upload Suwasi." I'm like, I did a long time ago, and I deleted it once I got I forget what it was. I think it was a Raven Dark Monocle Canonical split, and one of the other band name, the other band from Poland, they had a when you translated their band name, it was explicit, and I didn't know that, and that was the only time that an episode like that got banned, or not an episode, but an upload of an album, and then it was the Goat Moon one, because I think one of the the Raven Dark one must have gone away, or else we would have had 3, and then this channel would have been gone. 17 years I've had this fucking channel.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
That's
really
a while.
hoping it. I hope it doesn't go kerplunky. I'm hoping for the best though. Knock on wood.
Yeah, your
Knock,
channel's almost legal.
We're in the danger
Almost.
zone. It's almost legal. Can almost. I
Can
don't know,
almost
rent a
post whatever you want.
Can almost post it. Not quite. We're still on YouTube time. But yeah. Fred's like Suwasti, and then we were talking about that with Jub, and then I tried to upload the Ukrainian RAC White's Load album because somebody had that on up one song up. I'm like, I'll just upload the whole album. I translated it. I made sure there were no bad words or symbols or anything, and it looked good. And then immediately there was a fucking guideline strike. I'm like, oh, it's kind of ruined my day. Fuck that. I was in a good mood. I was just like, oh god, now I got to think about this all day.
It's all over.
Yeah, he had to report back to mom and dad here, and he's like, "Oh, I did a boo boo."
Sorry.
And we told him, we're not mad, we're disappointed.
Dude, well, this has never happened like that. Not like that. Like the Raven Dark one took like a year. I uploaded that like a year ago, and then they just randomly got a guideline strike.
This one, they're just like, no.
I guess, dude. I don't know. The name Whites, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whites.
just catch us on our
Maybe it's the name Load. I don't know.
on our Rumble. Big Billy Strikes Back.
Well, I don't have a Rumble. By the time this episode is out, we will already have been back on YouTube posting. But yeah,
Nice.
we've had to wait 2 weeks. So the previous episodes will be Spotify exclusive, I think, for at least the time being.
Well, that bringing up the Suasti actually pretty much summarizes my entire collection update for the week. I got that CD in the mail, and that is it.
Did you get it off Winter Solstice?
No, some my local, I mean in Canada, guy was selling it in our
Sorry, Winter
in
Solace.
Facebook's CD group I'm in, and I'm like, that's a random thing to find. So I grabbed it. It was like $10, whatever.
Yeah, I remember when I posted it originally. Somebody commented, they're like, this sucks.
Really? It's not that bad.
I remember thinking it was pretty all right. It's been a little while. I don't exactly remember what happens.
It's a little heavy on the samples at parts, but the riffs are kind of goat moony here and there.
Okay. The main guy from that band, he has another one that's maybe a little bit bigger in the Winter Solace circles. Sudwind. Have you heard that one?
No, I don't think so.
It's pretty. It's funny. The genre, it says epic black metal. All right.
Oh,
It sounds like it sounds a little bit more on the like RAC side, but it like I kind of get where they're coming from with the epic atmosphere. It kind of just like it almost does like what the Ramones does, like boom 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 ding 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 ding. It doesn't really speed up too much. It's kind of like a mid-pace thing. It's cool though. I would recommend Sudwind. They talk about Venezuelan patriotism. All right.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
as one does.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on over there, but that was a pretty good release. They had the one in 2019.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of splits that I never actually heard. Sometimes, I mean, everybody knows the RAC stuff and like the NSBM is a little less convenient to find. I tried to make it a little more convenient with the White's Load thing, but it inconvenienced me.
It did. Hey, let's before I forget, let's go through our nicknames. I believe Paul has gone in as Know Nothing Poser today.
Yeah.
That seems harsh.
No,
Yeah, he's too hard.
nothing. No, nothing Norwegian.
Yeah, Norwegian know nothing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
Dan
just
is-
I was gonna say it spawned from Fred's playlist. I'm like, I know like one band. Fred knows.
I've
one.
added a couple since I sent it to you guys. There might be more that you know on there. We'll see.
Yeah, the hole keeps getting deeper.
Dan is Barnum?
I couldn't
Like,
think of anything. I just was thinking of something. I was like, "What's a Barnin?" Okay, Barnin.
you know, this is actually, I think, your best nickname ever.
Barnin?
Yeah, bar none.
Bar none.
Bar none.
Get it?
I get it. I wasn't thinking that when I wrote that.
And now
I was
you've
just
read
kind
it.
of like alliterating. Believe it or not, that's how the name Bunsen Burner Recordings spawned in my mind. It didn't come from anything, nothing clever, just Bunsen Burner, fucking Bunsen Burner.
I like it. It's
I was like,
unique.
what would be a name for a record label? And I'm like, you know what? I think that works.
I like it because it lets you stay versatile with it.
You can do anything, and nobody knows really, what you're about. They would have to really listen intently, and to listen to this show intently is, I feel like it might be confusing for a lot of people if you come in at a random episode. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like this show would be very confusing. It's like this episode is about a metal thing, and it's like when do they fucking get to it? I think a lot of people complained about that in the beginning. They're like, "Where's the timestamps?"
Yeah, whenever I send an episode to a band we cover, I end up just giving the timestamp for when we actually start talking about it.
Right.
Like, oh, these
This
guys
is
don't need
when
to.
it's relevant to you.
Yeah, these guys don't need to hear the little Vince story.
What about the
Um,
Rob story?
Yeah, I'll
Well, hang on.
timestamp that too.
My nickname today, though, is You're on a Moose, which I thought was pretty good because we have a Norwegian episode, and that just ties in my Canadianness with moose. So,
Canadian Norwegian kind of meeting ground there. I see.
yes, I'm very easily entertained.
Cool. No, I meant this. That's when we were at fucking practice, Paul. Do you remember the thing that Rob said that made everybody die? It had the whole squad farting.
Remind me.
We were okay. Basically, what happened is we kind of didn't have our shit together for the new song that we're working on, and the other guitar player was absent. Julian wrote some riff that was too hard for me to learn at the time, and it was taking me a little while. I'm like, you know what? I give up. So we just went outside and drank for the rest of the night, and it was kind of just like it was a laugh riot. And then at the end of the night, Robert is telling us this, like telling us about his coworker or something.
Oh yeah.
And the way he phrases this, nobody knew what the fuck he was saying. So he says something along the lines of, he goes, "Oh yeah, I got this new chick, his coworker." He goes, "Yeah, me and her are knocking it off. We bump butts."
What?
I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, we were knocking it off." I'm like, "Do you mean hitting it off?" He goes, "Yeah, knocking it. What? You never heard that?"
He's a
No.
sorry, professor.
"Oh yeah, sorry, professor. My grammar isn't. It's not the grammar. It's your sort of terminology here." It's like I don't know. The way knocking it off, we were knocking it off, and we bumped butts. What? I guess he bumped his ass into her ass. He meant to say
Yeah,
hitting
I
it
know.
off. Yeah, we were
I
hitting
don't
it
think
off,
you're doing it right.
and we bumped asses. Okay, fine. The way he said it was fun, and he was trying to sort of defend himself, and he was like, he was getting kind of defensive. He's like, "What? Yeah, okay, all right."
No, there's no defending that.
That kind of made it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I was at my grandparents' last night. Well, I showed up late to like this barbecue that they were having, like my dad's friends, and I just kind of showed up just to make a quick appearance. I showed up right at the end when we were like cleaning stuff up, and my grandfather, he's like dragging in one of the ice chests like full of soda, and like I guess he was straining himself when he was pulling this ice chest, and he starts farting. He's like. He's fucking pulling the ice chest. And then he like went into the other room. I'm like, where'd my grandpa go? And my grandma walks into the like garage room and she goes, "Oh, he's changing. I think he might have pooed in his bed."
Damn.
I think that's what happened. We're always telling him to stop doing things. He's always like falling, or it's like this time he's farting. I don't know.
Too.
Yeah, poor bastard. Poor Gramps.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta toot when you're doing things.
Have you guys noticed like if you're ever around old people, they're like they like can't even they don't even know that they're farting sometimes. It's like it's like
I mean, I
happen
feel that
like,
way myself sometimes.
really? You're like, oh, I farted. I didn't even know.
Oh no, it happened.
That'll happen to my grandma. She'll fart and then she'll go, oh, and like it'll surprise her and she'll act like surprised and then she keeps farting. The surprise fart, you keep on fart. I think that was happening too the other night. It's like you got the whole squad farting. You know, when you laugh too hard, sometimes you cough, sometimes you fart, sometimes you snort. Everyone laughs at me when I snort when I laugh. I don't think it's that. Is snorting really that funny?
No.
Yeah, it can be.
I suppose. Well, like some people, like Julian's, like, oh, and Mo too. Every time I burp, Mo like makes a big fucking production out of it. It's like, dude, relax. See
Yeah,
what I mean?
just other noise.
Just more noise.
Oh, I finally had the kosher delight of
The spicy gabagool.
yeah, delicious.
Delicious. Yeah, when you mentioned that, I'm like, I'm gonna go over there too. I got the prime rib and barbecue brisket sandwich.
Yeah, everything on the sandwich was warranted, and they didn't. You know how like other sandwiches you get, and then like shit's just like falling out, just the sides, like every bite you take.
These are big sandwiches, but nothing falls out somehow. It all stays compact.
Yeah, and it's not even like a sub or anything. It's just
It's like beautiful bread.
yeah,
It's like the
great,
most beautiful bread you've ever seen.
great. The Bavarian potato salad was interesting. It has
So you got a side? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah, I've had that once. I think is that the one with the like, the kind of those little potatoes.
yeah, and then they like smother in some sauce, and then some really prominent taste. It's not like a you know how people say they get like a soapy taste from like cilantro. It's something similar to that. It's like almost like minty-ish.
It's like
weird.
stingy.
Yeah. So I'm like eating
It
that.
stings good.
This is I've tried eating it like 2 times and gonna go back for a third because it's like too much at once, even though it's such a small little portion. But yeah, I don't know if I particularly like it. It might be just a acquired taste that
I think
working
I
on.
got it. I got it once. I don't usually get that. Usually I just get a sandwich, one of those I forget what they're called, boiling sodas, and then some chips. I usually get that.
Yeah. But definitely.
What are the
good.
chips called?
They're just kettle chips.
Oh, just I see. Okay.
Kosher, of course.
Yeah, and Dan has his
Kosher water.
Oklahoma kosher
Oklahoma
water.
kosher water, yeah. That's the Mountain Valley spring water. I'm drinking this and I'm looking at the back. I'm like, oh, there's the whatever it's called, the like Hebrew Union symbol on the back. That's how you know it's good.
The seal of approval.
Pretty much. Well, that's how you know it's a little bit better. Like I talked about before, everyone talks about everything's poison. It's like, well, let's look for some of those symbols. You know, it's a bit better.
Good enough for them, good enough for us.
Yeah, pretty much. We did watch that new Emma Stone movie at Miguel's house. His like daughter's birthday, but we were just hanging out afterwards. That was pretty good. They think that's Todd from Breaking Bad. They like kidnap her because they think she's an alien. Cool movie. And that's not
What's
giving
it called?
anything away. That's like right at the beginning. I think it was called Begonia.
Okay.
Is she bald in that one too?
They shave her head. What do you mean two? Is she
Isn't
bald in another movie?
I think so.
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. Well, which movie?
Let me see.
You're just shitting me here. Begonia is the one where they shave her head.
I feel like I don't know. Has that movie been out for a while or something?
2025.
I don't know. I swear I saw maybe the trailer or something was out.
One of the guys from Cumtown is in that movie. He's a cop. That Stavros guy, that Greek dude.
Oh yeah.
Relatively funny movie. I'll say that. Like, we tried to watch that Anaconda movie that Paul recommended, and then Miguel's like, "What's Paul on drugs?" I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was. I don't know. We weren't enjoying that. We kind of were enjoying it at the beginning, and then it was just like, all right, it's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a dumb movie.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Paul, you watched any more Star Trek?
I'm like on episode 20 of the first season of Next
Of the
Gen.
third season?
First.
Oh god, okay, you're still there.
Yeah. Still good and still enjoying it.
Okay, good. I don't need to tell you it gets better then.
Yeah.
That show almost seems like mystical to me. Just because I used to see my dad watching it when I was growing up, and I never sat down and watched it myself.
Yeah, that's sort of how I felt. I was like, I mean, I just have to have a conscious effort and get through it. Otherwise, I don't think I would be around to watch it or have it played anywhere else. Like I have to do it.
It is it is something that I've watched so many times that I can fall asleep readily to it. It's like comforting at this point.
I just fall asleep watching The Wacky World of Tex Avery. Or the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Because that is on cable now.
Like the animated show?
Yeah, the animated
Oh.
show from the 90s.
I love that show. I actually have the DVD around here somewhere.
I have a DVD too. That's the one at the end where it has... Well, that's where they have the real guy, the like live action Mario and Luigi in their like headquarters.
Yeah.
I was falling asleep. I was watching one, and there was this joke that like I thought it was hilarious. So they have like an inspector come in, and he's looking at all this shit, and then some like creature, like some furry. He kind of looks like one of the Tribbles from Star Trek, and he like lands on the inspector's bald head, and they're looking at it, they're like, oh shit, and he like looks in the mirror. He goes, amazing. He goes, I haven't had a full head of hair since I was 5.
5.
Yeah, 5. That number is funny to me. I haven't had hair since I was 5. So we went bald at like 6. Okay, that's funny. That's funny to me.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Well, then that's also the show where he does the Mario at the end in the ending credits. You remember that? Where he swings his arms from side to side. I forgot what I sent to Little Vince. I sent something in the group chat. It was like some lady getting arrested and she was going ballistic. And Vince is like she's doing the Mario. I've been watching Tubi over the weekend. You guys ever watch Tubi?
I had it at one point. I wound up getting rid of it because I just wasn't using it.
Well, it's free, so you don't have to pay
Yeah.
for any of that stuff. The cool
Yeah,
thing about that, it's almost like channel surfing in time, like through time. I was watching a bunch of like weird old stuff. It's like, dude, they have a lot of shit on there. I was watching a few episodes of The Tick with Patrick Warburton.
Oh my god. I remember The Tick.
It's pretty the live action one. That's what I was watching. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Watched a couple episodes of The Man Show. The one episode of Get a Life that I didn't catch on the marathon. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff in there. They got Courage. And the commercials ain't even that bad. Like, they last like 30 seconds.
You know, what I really need to see somewhere, and if it is available to stream somewhere, I haven't found somewhere where it's like reliably there, but I need MXC back in my life. That show is
It's on
amazing.
Tubi.
Is it on Tubi?
It's on Tubi and it's on Amazon. Do you have Amazon? Do you use that? Do Canadians use Amazon? That's a question.
We do, but the licensing isn't always the same. So whatever you guys have on Amazon in the U.S. isn't always what we have on in Canada.
What about Tubi? Is that the same everywhere?
I feel like it probably isn't. It all depends on regional licensing.
Okay, well, when I was scrolling through that, I saw MXC. It's there.
Okay, okay.
I feel like that's one that has gotten a little bit more popular in the past like 5 years or something. 'Cause I remember everyone was watching that. It's like, oh, it's like we're drinking. It's like let's just watch MXC.
It is a brilliant show.
It's pretty funny. I remember seeing that for the first time at my friend's house in like second grade. I think it was like a birthday party, and all the older guys and like all the cool kids. We were in my friend's like older brother's bedroom, and we're watching MXC. And I'd never seen it before. I'm like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. And it's like one of those like, the older kids always had the elite ball knowledge. That's what it felt like. It's like, whoa, these guys know what's cool. It's like then you can remember that for the rest of your life. It's like, oh, this dude showed me Slipknot. This dude showed me MXC. So you kind of have that. You're like, yeah, I know what's cool.
This guy's made it.
Yeah,
Exactly. And he was like a dirt bike riding bro.
yeah, big bro approved.
Big bro approved. Yes. I never had a big bro, but some of the big bros were cool. Yeah. Brandon's big bro. Shout out Adrian. He was a cool dude. Derby do. I guess he's a big bro, but sometimes he shows us cool shit. Most of the time it's like retarded. I'm the one showing him shit, and he's like, I don't get that. I was like, dude, shut up. I'm like, go watch your Ghost on Mars slop. You know what is funny? The Dungeon Serpent kid. He's like what's that band called? The fucking Black Magic SS. He's like, it's trad metal goy slop. I'm like, all right, maybe so. I mean, their early stuff, I felt like they had something going on. Maybe halfway through the discography, I'm like, okay, we don't need this anymore. Who cares?
Yeah, and
I
then
never
just-
really got into them. They kind of just strike me as Ghost with rainbows.
Did you like Ghost at all?
Not really.
No.
Like I wouldn't say I dislike them necessarily, but I listen to it. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It doesn't move me enough that I need to hear it on any frequent basis.
I actually really liked the first album when it came out. That Opus, let's see, 2010. Yeah, I remember hearing it right as it came out on Sirius XM. Because Sirius XM, like I in high school I used to listen to it, and there was kind of this Swedish resurgence coming out at that time, and this was sort of part of that, even though this wasn't a death metal thing. But I was into that, and I thought it was a really cool kind of like people used to say it was like Merciful Fate. I never really thought of it that way. I thought of it more as like a cult rock, Shocking Blue, Coven type of music.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
I remember
only
the first-
honestly only the first album. Couldn't really make it past that.
Yeah, I remember checking out some of the later ones. Like I couldn't tell you the names, but one that has like a very Metropolis kind of cover. It again, it kind of just washed over me. I didn't dislike it, but I'm like, it's okay. But I remember when the first album came out, and they were still fairly anonymous. People didn't really know who was behind it.
Yeah, we didn't know it was Repugnant yet,
Yeah, exactly. And I was at a show.
and I didn't know
and-
who Repugnant was at that point either.
Well, someone told me at a show, "Hey, have you heard this band Ghost?" I'm like, "No, I've never heard them." I'm like, "What are they like?" Like, it's like this more like occult '70s kind of rock, but I heard Varg's behind it. I'm like, "Really, Varg? Oh, okay. I guess I'll give it a listen, but I don't. Doesn't feel like the sort of thing Varg would do."
I think that's kind of elite ball knowledge, is understanding that the first Ghost album is actually pretty good, and it's okay to like. guys. I think it's okay because
It's all right.
Paul, you and Kyle liked that one, didn't you?
Yeah, there's some good songs on there.
Yeah, I liked. I think I liked just about every song on that album. Honestly, right after that, they started to they like it was like who cares immediately. First album
Mm,
was good though. It was a cool occult rock album, metal adjacent, blah blah. You know.
yeah. Uh, well, we do have a fair amount of things to get through. Do you guys want to call a break and reconvene after? Start
Yep.
Yeah, sure,
getting into this?
sure.
All right.
All right, we'll be back.
Danny boy.
All right, we're back. I reverse roles with Freddy. He's taking over. I'm sitting back. I got the popcorn ready to go.
Yeah, same.
Got the first fucking mosquito bite of the year today. Fuck that.
Didn't know there were scooters up there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When it's warm, fucking everywhere.
Are you in the woods or wooded area?
No, I'm in a suburban area, but beyond my suburbs to the north and to the east, there's not a whole lot. So,
Yeah,
How?
are you in the Forgotten Woods? Are you in the Woods of Infinity? Where you at?
uh, we're just in the woods.
In the woods. Got it. Norway.
Hey,
How long would it take to drive to the woods from where you are?
um, I guess it depends what you mean by woods, because like our um subdivision, I guess, is pretty good about keeping like decently sized forested areas within the neighborhood. Um, but to get to like an actual like park sized forest, I don't know, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So in the one
Yeah.
by your neighborhood, if you like wandered in there, would you be able to get lost, or is that like impossible?
No, not possible.
Not possible to get lost. Okay.
No, it's in um
You like see your
if you
neighbor
go
shoveling
right
snow?
into the middle of that wooded area, whichever direction you face, if you look long enough, you'll see the roof of the house.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, you can still like get in there and like not feel like you're in a subdivision, um, but not for very long.
All right. Let me just
But
send this playlist over to Instagram, and I'll be ready to go.
yeah. Oh, you need me to send it or?
No, no, no. I got it. I just did it
Okay.
myself.
Well, just as a bit of background, so we are doing a deep dive into some of the more obscure Norwegian black metal bands.
You're telling me.
And yeah, you're telling me. But yeah, I mean, Norwegian black metal is a place that a lot of people tend to start when it comes to their journey to black metal. I'm really no different. Um, but I've really enjoyed digging into it as far as I can. Um, I find it's a scene that gets kind of pigeonholed with the more well-known bands, and then people tend not to dig necessarily much further than those all the time, and which is too bad because then there's a ton of really good shit. And even when we were talking about Ghost, we had mentioned that the first album was really good. People tend to forget that because of the stuff that comes later on. I think that's really true about a lot of Norwegian bands too. Like, I mean, we all know about Demon Borgir and what they turned out like, but their early albums are actually really cool.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Mac Taddis. Like they came out with Blot and The Providence of Cruelty, both of which are really cool. But when people think of them, they remember the more cornier ones like Complex Bewitchment or Steel Bath Suicide, and it kind of dampens it. But it's too bad because like those early albums are really good, and there's a lot of Norwegian bands like that. But yeah, I thought we'd dive into some of the more obscure acts, and they're not all going to be super unknown, and we're definitely not going to touch on all of the more obscure Norwegian acts, just the ones that, for whatever reason, tickle my fancy. Um, and yeah, I've shared a lovely playlist with you guys. But the one we have up first is Beelzebub. And this one is not going to be the most obscure one because there are stories around this band. So I think they're probably more well known for what happened to them and what they became. There's stories of members of the so-called inner circle or black circle, whatever you want to call it, the Vargs and the Euronymouses of the world, who bullied this band for not being true black metal. Whether or not they broke up because of that is up for debate. But for whatever reason, they caught the wrath of those people. And they all released one demo back in '92 called Apotheosis. And after they split up, a couple of the members went on to form Einherjar, which wound up being a much more successful act than Beelzebub. But we're going to start by checking out a track from Apotheosis. You guys familiar with these guys at all, or is this one a new one to you?
I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Haven't heard it.
I don't think that I've ever heard of this either. Some of the stuff I know, one of them Jub covered on his show a long time ago, and I think for the most part, the rest, me and you, Fred, have talked about. Either you showed it to me, or I've sent it to the group chat, and you're like, oh yeah, I like these guys. So some of this stuff I'm familiar with. A few others I'm not. Yeah, it is kind of a weird thing when it comes to like the Norwegian black metal, like underground stuff. Yeah, I think a lot. It was probably different back in the day where people were kind of paying attention to stuff that was coming out, especially from Norway, just being so infamous. But as far as I know, a lot of people don't really talk about the lesser known stuff, and I know I'm kind of guilty of that too. So this is kind of like, yeah, a little bit of a lesson from Fred, from the Metal Mentor.
Well, let's get to a sample. This is going to be from the third song, Blood Moon, on Beelzebub's '92 demo, Apotheosis.
All right, we'll be right back. We're back. I could see why they were bullied.
I mean, when you take into consideration what was going on around in '92, like Burzum releasing their first album, Darkthrone coming out with Blaze, Emperor releasing Wrath of the Tyrant. Comparatively, this isn't nearly as groundbreaking, I guess. It's kind of fairly straightforward, but it's a cool demo. Like, I like it, and it felt like it was worth including.
But I did like that second riff that they were getting into, where the chords were slid up a little bit higher on the neck. That was cool, but it kind of just stayed in the same pace, and production was like it sounded like you just had a marching snare as a drummer. But
yeah.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird little demo, and like I said, when you compare it to other things that are coming out around the time, it's not quite as on the same level, but it's cool. For whatever reason, Metal Archives list them as death black metal. I don't hear a ton of death in there, but I don't know.
Well, it's got the kind of first wave thing going on, which you could, I guess, argue is a mix. You know,
Yeah.
occult black metal, usually like considered Black Death, murder, rape, and shit like that. I mean, I can kind of hear all that. Usually, it has to do with like a heavy metal sort of backing, and I totally hear that. I mean, it doesn't really have the speed or complexity at all, or not complexity, but um, the sort of musicianship that you would expect. Like this kind of sounded like out of tune. Like all the guitars kind of sounded out of tune. Kind of weird sound. Kind of yeah, very very strange. Never heard of this before. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
know
little
that they
janky.
were. I didn't know that they were forced to split up.
I mean, whether that actually happened or not, I mean, like whether they, I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't doubt that they were like bullied by.
I mean, did you hear it? I'm not just kidding.
I heard it. It is weird. Yeah, I'll have to check out this full demo. I'm really not familiar with this thing. Especially, it doesn't sound like Norwegian black metal. It definitely sounds European though.
Mm.
Like it
The
almost reminds me of that Samhain band from Denmark, I think.
the one it more immediately struck me as more German, like something more like Ungod or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's what I meant. Like the occult black metal thing,
Yeah.
or Samael. This basically you can just call it like the Samael style.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next one we have is a band called Moonlore, and I almost included a track from their album called "The Spheres Beneath the Heavens" from 1997. These guys started off as pretty straightforward Norwegian black metal, but they kind of turned a bit more gothic with the album, and it's actually a really cool album. I almost sampled a track from a track called "The Silken Masked High Priest of Dreamland." It's it's a very weird album, and it wound up getting released on Malicious Records, if I remember correctly. It was the last thing that they actually did release, Malicious Records. Um, but because it's so a bit more out there and gothy, it didn't really strike me as the right release to include on this. But I really recommend it. But we're listening to a track from their 1993 demo. And this is a song called "In My Kingdom," the first track.
All right, we'll be back. All right, we're back.
Yeah, so that one's a bit of a weirder one. It's a bit slower, and you can kind of see similarities with, I mean, Strid and Burzum wouldn't be terribly surprising, but maybe kind of Forgotten Woods. But
Fred,
Doomy
plug in
demo,
and
it's
unplug,
sorry.
unplug and plug.
It's kind of a gloomy demo. I like this one. It's I wish these guys would get their old stuff compiled and reissued, but I feel like that's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you guys
I
think?
like how stripped down this is. I never really thought about this before, but it must have been very interesting being a Norwegian kind of random black metal band in 1993, sort of picking up where, because I mean Mayhem, well, Mayhem is much more metal feeling.
Hmm.
Dark Throne at the time is, I guess, sort of setting the groundwork for like what's to come for
Hmm.
like the atmospheric black metal sound pretty much. And
Yeah.
then I think this is sort of more in the Burzum camp, where
Yeah,
like
for sure.
where like the French or the Black Legions would go, where it's more experimentation on like stuff that sounds a little bit more post rock ish
Hmm.
and goth rock ish, but it's kind of going a little bit further than that with the just sort of the raw and stripped down, like, I don't know, completely fucking maniacal sound. So this is cool. It's yeah, it is kind of weird to imagine writing stuff like this in 1993, because in a weird way, this, I don't know if you guys have felt this way too, but it's like a lot of this stuff kind of feels extremely divorced from any kind of heavy metal that's recognized, like up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one much more so than
Yeah,
Beelzebub.
yeah. Beelzebub is a bit more heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's evil sounding for sure, but this one, I don't know. It's got that. It's doing that thing that's I sometimes like, sometimes don't. Where it's like I forget. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but like Inquisition. Think of like those chords, like bring, ding, ding,
You know, I was
or
just
like
gonna say
the
that,
freezing
like
moon thing. The freezing moon
Yeah.
thing. You know.
but it has that, for lack of a better term, I call it like a Scottish sound because it sounds like it almost sounds like bagpipes or something, but that kind of riff that sounds uh, like this did, and like Inquisition pull off, especially on Invoking. So
Well, this one sounds a lot more like Black Murder from La Legion Noire, but
mhm.
like it's kind of different the way that Mayhem did it and the way that Inquisition does it. This one actually sound. This reminds me of that Swedish band's Evercon, I think. Um, it kind of evokes a feeling of you're lost in the woods and you are going to die. Like there's no
Yeah,
hope. There's no hope. You're dead.
it is a very lost kind of wandering, gloomy sound. It's like I said, much more Burzum, Forgotten Woods, or Strid than you would hear in the on the more, I guess, straightforward bands like Dark Throne.
Yeah,
It's ambitious.
mentioning all those bands, it's like just straight up kind of DSBM-y in that
Yeah.
the guitar
Yeah.
technique and, like you said, more like
Sad and hopeless.
yeah, like post punk, and then just very very slow and stripped down, like even just the chord sliding, and then right at the end, I think we heard like another chord being played in between that space that made it sound like almost a continuous note. It was strange, but this one's definitely cool and definitely rings out as more black metal than
More cult.
the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonder what that
totally agree.
moon lore's about.
I mean, yeah, if Forgotten Woods had kind of the post punk sound, which it did, this one kind of takes that and like makes it inaccessible, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Like I said, the album sounds very very different, but it's cool. It's quirky. It's a bit more gothic, but it's a good listen. So heavily recommend that too.
Stick to the wall.
Yeah. Okay, the next one we have is a bit more of a mysterious one. This is a band called Cruciamentum, same as the British death metal band.
Mm-hmm.
These guys only released one demo called Luctus Infinite in '93. By the way, we're going roughly chronological order on the ones I have here. And yeah, there's not much more to tell about these guys. They released this demo, and that's kind of it. It got reissued in I don't know, almost 10 years ago on LP, and that's kind of all we know about Cruciamentum.
Mm.
This is the one demo they released.
This is one of the ones that I happen to know. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's from Fred. I just happen to know this one.
Yeah, this one was played all the way through for me, so
All
I don't
right.
know when I checked it out, but I did
You've heard it at some
point.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I think we've both come across this at some point.
Guess I'm
Hmm.
not a know nothing.
You know something.
Not that much of a poser.
That's all we're asking.
All right, well,
For a little respect.
we'll be back. All right, we are back from that bulldozing black metal.
Bulldozing is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it was just getting flattened, and then you just got this like very crudely played. And
And
the vocals come out. It almost sounds like it's just straight reverb, and then there's like a little bit of noise coming out of it, which is
Yeah.
sick. And I like the cover, girthy ass tree.
Yeah, it's just
It
a
is a
picture of a
dirty
big
ass
tree.
It's about as Norwegian black metal as it gets.
This one kind of reminds me of like melodic death metal from Sweden or something. Like it
Yeah.
does, like it's got the black metal production, but it sounds like a fucking band like Monstrosity or Funebrae could have done something like this. And then even the vocals coming in like that, it's kind of death metal coded in a weird way.
Yeah. Well, the drumming on this one, the section we listened to wasn't particularly fast, but on the faster sections of the demo, the drumming is really bludgeoning. But the guitar is still fairly high pitched, and it still gives you that more melodic feel. And melody isn't something I tend to associate with Norwegian black metal a whole lot. We'll see it a couple times here and there, but that's kind of what puts this demo a bit more aside for me, because you don't get to hear that a whole lot in Norwegian black metal, I find.
No, that's much more of a Scandinavian death metal technique that they were doing there.
This ain't a kraken, but it's a hissing.
Oh. Oh.
It sounds like you just sprayed water everywhere.
Yeah. Paul is drenched.
I am, yeah.
Are you really?
A little bit. it went from hissing to pissing.
Yeah, hissing. It started hissing, and then I hear like
Let's try again.
a fucking flood.
Just hear
There you
Paul
go.
go, oh God!
That's how it's supposed to sound.
Oh
But wait,
God, it doesn't
what are you
smell like
drenched
cookies.
with?
It was just some sparkling water, some kosher sparkling water.
At least Paul isn't sticky.
Israel again. No, just
You
kidding.
remember? You remember in Family Guy when Brian sniffs the dog's ass? He goes, "I thought I smelled cookies," and then the Jewish guy goes, "Does it really smell like cookies?" Oh God!
Nailed it.
Okay, now I know why I recognize this band. They're members of the next band.
Yeah. Which is DS Irae. Yeah, so the same, I think it's the same members. I don't know if it's the members of Cruciamentum aren't listed on Metal Archives, so I don't know if it's both members were in DS Irae. I don't know how that worked, but
Let's just assume.
yeah, let's go with that.
Let's just be asses. And
The single demo that they had from '94 it's a cool mix of dungeon synth and black metal. The clip we're going to listen to is basically all black metal, but these guys and another band that we'll listen to later called Fimble really like emphasize the dungeon synth aspect of black metal that Norway was kind of starting to toy with Burzum and Mortis. But cool band, very atmospheric. I think you guys will like this one.
Yeah,
All right, we'll be back.
Den fattige, utenkelige. For den var ikke noe virkelig i denne fallet. Den er glemte. Den er løgnskapning. Det fortelles at det skal finnes en eng i det mørke havet, hvor ei sjel eller lekme bor, bare underlige, grømmende skygger av det som en gang var oss, de gamle, blinde Homero. Alt med evig rik, med gråt og tårer fortalte, den lov som hersket i vårt univers.
All right, we're
Whoa.
back.
Well, there you go. One of the only Norwegian bands I can think of that would really compare to Summoning.
Yeah, kind of. That one was pretty dorky sounding in a cool way. They nailed the atmosphere there. Somehow they nailed the production.
And it's weird because I think like the lyrics or whatever they were saying, it was in Italian.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. Like
Yeah.
it's a spoken word.
Very theatric.
And the song titles originally were in Italian. When it got reissued on vinyl, like in 2000 whatever, all the tracks got renamed to something English.
That's right.
Like here, Awakening, Leth, Soul, Fields of Hades, and Pro Defunctus. So maybe some Latin in there, but like that's I don't understand the
English as
change,
opposed
but
to
whatever.
Canadian.
Yeah.
I like how the album title has a logo, but the band name doesn't.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I like that they made it a wolf's face. I think it's a
Right,
wolf.
it's a wolf.
Yeah.
And then the T is also a little face. It's got little eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was doing some weird stuff at the end there. I continued to listen beyond the 18-minute mark. It
Yeah,
seems
it's-
like this thing just does a lot of like folky melodies in it, folky riffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell from the cover.
Yeah, I suppose so on the right there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Austrian band called Rivendell. They did some folky black metal with flutes. It doesn't sound nearly as raw as this, but the fluty parts of it kind of remind me of that.
Yeah, the
They came
flute,
out quite a bit later, but
fluty don't have to be fruity.
Fruity.
Paul swinging in with the facts.
Rivendell. Yeah, this I know this is familiar. It's just been a long time since I've listened to it. It's got the kind of it seems to have the same vibe.
Yeah, Ancient Glory is such a good album.
Mm.
Honestly, those three albums are fantastic. I haven't heard the Reunion. There's only one guy, but the album they put out a couple years back, I haven't heard that yet.
It's funny. It's like this side of black metal seems to be a little bit divorced, right, from the evil, mysterious, sad, hopeless. It's kind of like, I don't know. It almost seems like it's trying to make itself seem a bit more cultured or something.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't think they failed at that. All these bands have seemed to like do that really well when it comes to the folk element.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. I wonder how that was seen for a long time, because it seems like everybody really likes that stuff, even something like Summoning, which I can imagine a lot of people would like poo-poo, even something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems to be kind of accepted within that world. It's like, oh, fantasy, come on in, pal.
Yeah. But you know, even though we're covering like fairly obscure Norwegian bands, even as far as obscure bands go, I never hear anyone talk about these guys. Like,
Jubb did an episode on him.
Yeah, both, right?
oh, did he?
I don't know if he did the Crucimentum. He might have. I really don't remember.
Yeah, you mentioned him.
Yeah, he might have mentioned him. That's why I checked this band out originally. That was a long time
Yeah.
ago. That must have been like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fred.
but I
Unplug and
never hear
plug.
anyone talking about them.
You're like fapping.
It kind of does sound like it's like. Now we're good. Now I don't hear the buzzing anymore.
Excellent.
No, you're excited, Fred. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
So excited, you start yorking it. Yeah, it's like Norwegian black metal.
All right. Up next, we've got Dim Nagel.
Dim
So
Miguel, I have a friend like that.
These guys wound up becoming Endesma, who I believe are still around.
Eczema.
One of the most death metal names ever. A couple of... So I don't know what the lineup on the actual recordings were, but a couple of these guys wound up in Kvist. And Trondr Nefas from, again, Kvist, Beastcraft, a bunch of bands, was in this band at some point. Who exactly participated in the demo recordings, I don't know. The one demo that we really have access to, Satanic Overdose, consists of 2 different recordings. One of them for an EP that was unreleased, and the last 3 tracks are instrumental from a demo or rehearsal. So don't really know what the lineup was on those, but it's very raw black metal that will... At this point, I think this is going to be the first one that really makes us think, this is what I would expect to hear from a Norwegian black metal band.
I do remember us talking about this one. I was either... I think we were just kind of trading stuff. We were like, oh, Norwegian black metal. Like, I listened to this recently, you listened to that recently. And I remember this specifically being in that rotation maybe about a year ago.
Yeah, I could see that. I did get the... Northern Breeze Records reissued this this recording a while ago, and I probably talked about it for a while when I actually got it, so wouldn't surprise me.
1994. Interesting. It's so funny. It's like everyone just adopts this style or look and then makes kind of actually good stuff out of it. That's what's kind of crazy, is how much good shit there actually was.
Yeah. No, the Norwegian scene, it was, I think, surprisingly diverse, and hopefully the bands I pick are going to show that.
So far, so good.
All right. We'll check out the song and we'll be back. All right. We gotta resuscitate Dan. He OD'd. Fred and Fred and I made it out fine.
I'm like Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, they go through the sternum.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, like you said, way more what we would
Dead
align
cool guy
as
storage.
yeah, what we align as second wave, and you can just hear the performance and musicianship, especially of the drummer, doing a lot of interesting stuff with like the double bass, and it sounds like very isolated, like cymbals, like almost like splashes or something, with like how distant they sound. But yeah, once they got into like the tremolo section and blasting, it just kind of took off, and I think that's when we had a little too much. But that was
I
great.
mean, if it was Andre from Kvist on drums on that recording, which wouldn't surprise me given the performance, it lines up. When you compare, or when you think of Kvist and again Tronder's other bands, Beastcraft, Vulture Lord, I guess, it's they line up. Like it's not a huge departure from those. But this was a recording that I remember being really interested in because on Full Moon Productions website, they used to have a picture of Dim Nagel, and it was just a guy standing outside of a barn or something at night, and I really wanted to hear that. And I remember downloading it on I think Soulseek and thinking that this is fucking cool.
You like what's it called? Legubrum?
Lugarum? Oh, kind of.
See, the Norwegians don't even have to try. They can just like go out to the barn. They have barns.
But like, just you know the album cover to Borknagar, the first album.
Yeah, the barn.
Yeah, just imagine that, but in black and white, and there's a guy standing in front of it.
Well, remember the band that's pre-Take, and it has the guy, and he's standing there with the pitchfork.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so you don't even have to
Thule.
try.
That
Just like
Thule.
go
That was
out in the
Thule,
yard
right?
and grab a fucking one of the plowing tools.
Yeah, that was Thule, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Here, I found the picture. I'm gonna drop it in our chat.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a clown with like farmers. Oh, there it is.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right?
sick. Yeah, totally sick. Didn't even have to try that hard.
He's all, this was just a photo from a family photo right here.
Well, one thing that's so cool is like I think the kind of mystique around a picture like this, and nowadays you'll just see people on Instagram uploading like photos with like corpse paint on. It's like, dude,
Oh yeah.
such a you know what.
Yeah, you got like the bathroom and the shower curtain in the back.
Yeah, you got the shower curtain and your corpse paint and your leather jacket. It's like, dude,
you can see like
everyone hates you.
yeah, you can see like the makeup tube on the sink. It's like,
Yeah. See like jizz on your shirt.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, that was a great track.
Yeah,
that one
sick.
was cool. It kind of I think this one encapsulates everything that is, I guess, the style of black metal, or at least this time frame and country.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like
I like
doing
how I like how speedy it gets too, because it's melodic, but at the same time it's kind of drawing you away. It's not it's not pretty sounding at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does like that sort of distinct like Burzum-esque guitar where it's like a whole lead, but it's like a phrase of its own. It's not like a solo or anything. It's just kind of like a guitar like riff lead or something. It's really sick.
Yeah, somehow somehow even though I don't think all the riffs are meant to stand out, all the guitar riffs kind of do stand out like very distinctly. Very cool stuff.
Right. Well, up next we have Demonic. So these guys, I got into these guys pretty early on, getting into black metal, because I did find a copy of their reissued demo, Lead Us into Darkness, at a secondhand shop in the very early 2000s, and I thought it was fucking sick. I love the cover on the reissued demo. It's this demon sitting on top of the tree.
Yeah.
The logo is weird. It's not terribly original on this, but it gets the job done. They wound up recording one album, Empire of Agony, which is pretty cool too. But I think the sound on the demo, which is originally called something in Norwegian that I'm not going to try pronouncing, but Necropolis Records put it back out with an extra track. I usually like to get deeper into the recordings to find some of the more interesting sections, but this one really made an impact right away with the first track, Spell the Witch Demon. It's got these dramatic synths that are pretty cool and kind of remind me of Enslaved's Yggdrasil demo, especially that first track. So we're just gonna play the first track straight away and just go with that.
All right.
Cool. We'll be back. Alright, guys, it's not a myth. There's bass in black metal. We heard it.
It can happen. It can happen.
But yeah, that was
Yeah.
really interesting with the synths going on, and then later, I think like the third section, the guitar started mimicking that. Synths dropped out. Really dynamic drum performance. He's actually alive back there, not just doing the hypnotic, blast beats.
Yeah, a little bit more death metal styled composition there.
Yeah, even the
Lot of
like the
changes.
breakdown section, it was very like it reminded me of like Half a Hedge or something.
Little bit jazzy-ish, kind of like nasty. One of them nasty breakdowns. Bing, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, they're like really open drums too.
Yeah. The drums made that.
Yeah, that was great, and then they, got right into their groove. But even there, I think it played like 4 repetitions, and then the drums, like I think you only had the snare on 1, and then after that you had it on 1 and 3. It was like the beginning just like that, and then it was like, kind of doing a more, I guess, double of that, which was really interesting. Like the drums felt alive, and then towards the end of the sample there, you get into like the 16 notes on the hi-hat as well, but while keeping that backbeat.
Yeah, and they did re-record this track for the album Empire of Agony. It's a bit faster and a bit more streamlined. It doesn't quite have the same impact for me. It's still cool. Like I still like the album version, but this one I think just hits harder. The synths are more dramatic. It's a bit more in your face. So this is the version I'd recommend people listen to.
This is late enough to, I imagine, they were probably aware of American black metal. And this kind of feels like it has that feel to it, too. Or even, like, honestly, it has, like, that little bit of blasphemy feel to it with that breakdown thing. It kind of has that thing going on a little bit. So this is pretty cool. It's Norwegian black metal in the age of sort of everything else being out at the time.
Yeah, this one was recorded in late '94. So I mean, by that point, quite a bit had already happened. Like, DMDS was already out, I imagine.
Yeah,
so
so this isn't necessarily like, here's like the history of Norwegian black metal. It's just kind of, here is Norwegian black metal.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be
Primarily
more
through the
and more
90s, right? I don't know if we're getting any further than that.
No, I think I've got like a couple that go into 2000, 2001, and I have one that goes to 2010 because it's one we don't hear very often. But we'll bunch of a few of these together moving forward to, in the interest of sanity, I guess. We'll bunch the next two together. So we had talked about Beelzebub at the beginning. Einherjar was the band that those members, or some of the members, eventually wound up in. And I find that they kind of get a bit of flack. Dragons of the North, their first album was pretty bouncy for Viking-oriented black metal. And Odin Owns Y'all, the next one that came out, was
Odin owns y'all.
Yep. Had some awkward, clean vocals that people didn't do a whole lot with. I think they've redeemed themselves quite a bit over the time, and they've aged pretty well. But the Aurora Borealis demo is such a good demo that I really just wanted to include this, mostly to remind people of how fucking good these guys were.
This is the only one I know from these guys. I've never heard anything else, and I'm looking at their first album. It looks like I probably wouldn't like it.
I have a bit of trouble with their first album. The second album, Odin Owns Y'all, is actually pretty good. Like, it's mostly clean vocals, but and they're
Century
kind of
Media.
Yeah. They're a little goofy, but once you get past that, it's actually pretty good. And I think Blot was the one that I liked quite a bit after, but nothing they've done even touches Aurora Borealis. This is like Viking metal right up the alley of like Hades, like the first Hades album. It's like on that level for me. And what we're sampling from this, we're not going to hear a whole lot of vocals, but the solo from the first track, De Sortis Yours Land, I'm not going to do that again. And since it's a very melody infused solo, we're going to pair that up with a black metal band called Suffering. These guys didn't do a whole lot, and the members didn't go on to a whole lot else either. They released one album called Sowing the Seeds of Suffering. It's very doomy, very melodic. I've always described it as Imagine Dissection played at like a third speed. Maybe not that as intricate as Dissection, but it's you know, when I found this on an old distro list and managed to order a copy from them, reading it was Norwegian black metal, I was pretty excited for it, and I popped it in the player, and it was not at all what I expected to hear. But it's fucking great album. So we'll listen to those two.
All right, we'll be back. Damn, I wish we could just listen to Einherjar all the way through.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, that was
demo
great.
is so good.
Yeah, that lead section was really good, and like those cleaner vocals worked for me. And the second one, Suffering, had like some nasty like dense chords. I don't know if they were like mechanically dense or anything, but just the way that the production picked it up was like an impenetrable wall.
Yeah.
Really
It is very dense sounding, and like right from the start of this album on the track Visions, it starts with this really melodic just guitar going do 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 do, and when the drumming kicks in, it's such a hard hit on the like he just smashes the drum, and it like really kicks it off well, but it doesn't really pick up much speed. It just like when you expect it to like really kick into gear, it doesn't, but it just gets more intense, and it's a really cool a really cool approach to black metal. And just as a weird side note, the cover reminds me a lot of Kvist. Just 'cause it's got these weird tombstones on it. I don't know. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, Suffering is interesting. I always have a hard time differentiating like when a band calls themselves Black Doom, it always kind of like becomes death metal to me by proxy. I'm not exactly sure why. This one, I think the production was much bigger, and like the vocals were leaning towards death metal, and kind of the vibe I get is that way too. Even though the chords are like black metal, I get a different kind of vibe from this. Like this could be just like a Death Doom thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember the at some point these guys were thought to be a Christian black metal band.
Right.
They're not, but I think it's because some of the other bands on the label were. I think Cryptal Darkness was on there, and I think they had a Christian mindset, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Either way, at some
Cryptal
point
Darkness.
it was. Yeah.
Weird, because
Australian band.
I always confuse the two bands, Cryptal Darkness and Crystal Darkness.
I mean, yeah, they're one letter off.
Yeah, Cryptal Darkness is like the Death Doom one, right?
Yeah.
Well, weird
But they're-
enough, I think Crystal Darkness is also Death Doom.
But Cryptal Darkness's first demo, Chamber of Gore, is like death grind, and it's fucking sick. It's so good. Their Death Doom stuff is good too, but that demo is just, it rips. It rips hard.
Yeah, I can see where Einherjar, that's kind of black metal adjacent. It almost feels kind of... this one feels out of place a little bit. Did that one come out on Century Media too? Or was that on something else?
Einherjar?
Yeah, the first one. Or that EP.
That was, it was a self-released demo, and it was Necropolis Records that reissued
Necropolis.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, that one's kind of just like heavy metal, or that one's just straight up Viking metal. Kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And not many albums give me the same vibe as the first Hades album, again, Shall Be. But that demo 100% does. It's just like this meandering kind of sound that's like, it sounds like you're lying in a Viking ship in the ocean at night and just like staring to the stars.
Well,
It's
weirdly
such-
enough, that one's relatively slow, but it's kind of non-stop riffs. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird combination of things.
Yep.
I like that. And I like that's pretty interesting. 94 too. Huh.
Yeah.
And it sounds much bigger than you would imagine. I didn't expect that sound whatsoever.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah, Angel.
Well,
I didn't like that.
our next bunch are going to be some pretty ugly ones. So up first, we've got Raven. And this is a band that was associated with Forgotten Woods. Rune of
Hooligan?
Forgotten Woods.
Rune
was
Hooligan,
in
yeah.
there. Yeah. he was in there, and it was they released 2 demos, and then the EP FM came out on No Colors Records.
You're getting excited
Um,
again. Yeah.
Sorry?
So you're getting excited again.
It
Of
was
course.
the mic was doing that thing.
Oh. Let me unplug it and replug it, or?
You're
No,
good.
you're good now. Somehow it stopped.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Control
Yeah,
yourself.
they released this EP FM, which was just tracks taken from the demo, or one of the 2 demos. And then everything got compiled onto a CD called, or CD and LP called The Murder Sessions. Cool band, ugly sound, vocals are just absolutely wretched. They hurt my throat to listen to, but they're so good. Next one we'll be listening to is a band called Fimble. If you guys remember Fimble Winter, the one that was associated with Dimmu Borgir, this is just Fimble. They released a couple demos back in '95. Winterland and Det Siste Slaget. I believe the one we're listening to is from Winterland. They are raw black metal, bookended by these dungeon synth tracks. On the Winterland demo, they're fairly short tracks. I mean, they're like averaging 5 minutes long. On the second demo, they got a bit more adventurous, and one of the tracks was like a full 8 minutes long. And then they had this fairly long dungeon synth track at the end too. So this one kind of circles back to DS Irae in that sense, that they include a decent amount of dungeon synth in their demo. But these guys are actually still active today. These guys, it's just one guy. And I believe they actually released something fairly recently that isn't showing on Metal Archives, which is a little weird, but they are in fact active. And the third one is going to be a band called Fawn.
This one I know.
F-A.
Crazy enough.
Yeah. So these guys went through a bunch of different names, but they eventually wound up being called Vulture Lord. And this demo, Betrothed Unto Death, also has quite a bit of ambience in it as well. It is another raw, ugly demo. The juxtaposition of the tracks between the black metal tracks and the which are performed pretty weirdly, and the atmospheric stuff is pretty janky, but I really like this demo. It's eerie, for lack of a better term. So those are the 3 we'll be listening to here.
All right, Will Be Black.
We are back.
Those are some of the more ugly ones that we'll be listening to today.
That first one was beautiful. What do you mean?
Yeah, first one was beautiful. I've been getting into Joyless lately, so I've been enjoying that like hybrid of uh, kind of heavy and thrash and post punkish black metal. So that's
Yeah.
cool, and yeah, that is a bit beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you like Forgotten Woods, Joyless, those bands, there's no reason why you wouldn't like Raven. It's definitely the ugliest of the bunch, but it's some of the riffs are fucking awesome on those demos, and the vocals just sound like he's gargling razors. Holy hell, that hurts to listen to.
Yeah, I really like the single string sort of Inquisition
Yeah,
stuff that
that
was going on.
yeah.
Mhm.
It kind of went like half the riff, the other half did the chords. But that is interesting when bands do that. Like somehow it's like the easiest thing to do, but you kind of don't hear it as often as you might want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like such a like I wonder if there's like a way to play that sort of riff over something faster, because a lot of that stuff when you do that it's very mid pace, and it just kind of like suspends the time of a section going on. It's really really cool.
Mhm.
And then the next ones were just, those ones were ugly. I think just like it would start off with like some normal chords, and then we'd go into something really dissonant in like the third section or third part of the progression, which was really good. And I think my favorite of the bunch was Raven.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. They're a lot more immediately catchy, I guess. Especially Fimble is kind of a longer game they're playing. Like you have to really listen to the whole track to get into it as much um, as you can. Whereas Raven's kind of just immediately like latches on. The Fawn I think is a little bit unfair because that's the ending of the song, and I just really enjoy the synths in that part. Um, that one's definitely the jankiest of the bunch. It's a weird little demo, but it's definitely charming, shall we say?
Yeah, Fimble. They seem to. So far, what we've heard, they're doing the drum beat that all the kids like.
Yeah, just from a pure musical standpoint, they kind of remind me of Kvist, I guess.
They're the side of black metal I think that most people would be interested in, or at least the
Yeah,
thing that like is popular. So
yeah,
yeah, that's pretty cool. 1995 raw black metal doing that really punky Iljarnish kind of thing.
yeah.
I think my favorite of the bunch was Fawn. Um, I'm not sure if it's because I'm familiar with the band, but I really like how kind of mysterious this one is, and like the keyboards didn't help much with kind of making it distinguished because those were also very raw sounding, and
Hmm.
usually that's not the case. Usually the keyboards like will bring something together. This kind of didn't. This made it sound weirder.
Yeah, it's almost like they warbled into existence.
Yeah, probably need a little bit more. I'd like some more time with Fawn because I remember them being quite cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sounded extremely fucking ugly. I really like that.
Well, the next couple are a bit more polished. So first we've got this is about as obscure as it gets. A band called Inherit. Um, they only released a demo EP called Immortel in 1995. Some of the members went on to other bands that are not really terribly black metal. Some thrash, some industrial stuff, but this is a weird little thing. They it's supposed to be 4 tracks, but the CD itself is indexed as one single track. So I've never really listened to it as separate individual tracks, just one long composition. Um, it's pretty doomy. There's a fair bit of gothic element in it too, although I think the section we're going to listen to doesn't have a whole lot of it. But there's also like acoustic guitars, which will bring to mind a bit of Ulver. These guys never really went anywhere. I think what wound up happening is the demo got some label interest, and they wound up signing with Embassy Productions, the one that released Mactatus, Vlad Tepes, and the Vlad Tepes Berget split. And when the label just tanked, the band kind of just ended. So that's kind of a interesting one. And this one kind of falls in the same category as bands that could have been but weren't. A band called Orth. And this album actually officially came out in 2017. But it was recorded in late 95 and early 1996.
That's cap.
And
No, just kidding.
the members involved were Ares from Eternus, Eternus,
Yep.
On bass. A guy called Visago Rex, who was in Eternus for a while, but has gone on to a band called Arvus, which is his main current band, and Grim from Borknagar, Gorgoroth, Immortal on drums. And I think it was his death that wound up getting the album shelved to begin with.
I just got that. Billy. Grim.
And for that one, we'll be listening to a track called The Worshipper, which I think is a really cool track. But there's another one on there called Bonded, which we're not going to listen to, but I really recommend people checking out, because that one really brings out the Eternus vibes in them. Like, it's really reminiscent of Dark Sorcery. The one that we're listening to, The Worshipper, is a bit more triumphant, epic sounding. So let's get to those.
So we're just doing these two first?
All right, we'll be back.
These two, yeah.
All right, we are back from the. Yeah, I can never escape it. The tech thrash, the thrash coming through,
Yeah, I was going to say fail. That's tech thrash, not Norwegian black.
and it was Pantera-esque. So I just Fred have any?
Briefly.
It's Norweird. It's Norweird. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Norwegian black metal turned weird.
Yeah. And that
Norterra?
demo sounds a lot more when you just see it as one track, because I did for a long time.
Excuses.
Mm.
You know what, Paul? I don't need it from you.
Yeah. Ooh. Spicy.
No, but I think those were interesting. Like, you get a lot more rhythms that you wouldn't hear necessarily in like traditional second wave, and that first track in Hera, that one was kind of like all over the place, and it does make sense that the guy from Eternus was in there. Just the sort of dynamics that were going on, especially like the softer section where there was clean guitars and drums were a little bit more open with a double bass underneath it. Second one,
Inherit?
yeah.
The guy from Eternus was not in Inherit. It was in Orth.
Oh,
Yeah. The ones in Inherit didn't really go on to any other black metal projects. Not pure, anyways.
oh, damn. Well, that's interesting. It's like
Right.
you would normally have like the incestuous, band or members coming around and all these projects, and they all have that sort of off kilter sound. But with these guys, it seems like they were just on like a lower tier of that sort of Norweird black metal,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
Yeah, it's progressive. It's progressive metal, but it's got that black metal vibe to it, I suppose.
Yeah,
But Orth,
Orth,
the
Orth is
Sonic
interesting.
Kills, not
Orth kind
surprising.
of reminds me of like Mortuary Drape sound, kind of, or uh, maybe some of the more abrasive Greek black metal shit like Chaos Baphomet. Kind of reminds me of that. It's weird because like it seemed like the guitar kind of took a back seat, and it was more bass heavy. It was doing guitar chords, but they were more used as like leads, which is kind of different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's it's an interesting recording, especially when you look at who's involved in it. You can kind of see each band coming out in different ways. You can hear Gorgoroth, you can hear Eternus, you can sometimes hear a bit of Immortal, but there's a lot of Emperor, not Emperor, Borknagar, especially in the drumming. But again, that's all Grim, right? So it's
it
it's a
seems
really
like
cool album. I'm glad
seems
it got an official release.
seems like the very like streamlined version of like compared to all the other bands that they're in, with their later stuff at least.
Yeah, yeah, no, it definitely is. Uh, okay, so I guess moving on to that, the next ones we're going to listen to. Get ready. Band called Imperium. Now these guys, I almost want to preface every band saying these guys are from Norway. Yeah, no shit. Um, so only released one album. Now there's two Imperiums in Norway. This is I guess, the more well-known of the two, um, and the most notable person in here was Trim, of Enslaved and Emperor on drums, and you can really hear it when you listen to this. This is their only demo from '96. Um, it does slow down and have synths or keyboards here and there, but because of the force and the power behind the drumming, um, even sometimes gives me some Zyklon B vibes. Not gonna lie.
Well, even just with that band name too.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, One after that we're listening to. This is a band I'm not super familiar with. I have their second album. We're gonna be listening to a track from their first because it's a bit more black metal than the second, which still is, but it's not. It's a bit more removed. It's a track called, or it's a song from an album called Nine Worlds, and came out in '96 on Season of Mist. Actually, their second release. Um, Weird recording. Like, it's got some flutes and organs, and I think the part of the track we're listening to has some acoustic guitars and flute in as well in it, just to show what kind of a weird band they are. Um, I don't know much about um, the lore behind this band, but the members in it went on to a fair number of other bands that are decently known. Like, the drummer went on to Gyandod and Catacon, amongst a bunch of other bands. So,
Me and Poser Paul scratching our heads.
um, then we'll listen to a bit more of a Viking oriented band called Vargariket. Um, these guys were kind of a strange little thing. Um,
Were they from Norway
they're
too?
sorry.
So were they from Norway too?
Yeah, crazy. Um, Kind of a weird, like, constantly mid-pace sort of approach. They released one demo in '96, and then a compilation came out with their stuff a few years ago, and there was a rehearsal tape from the same year. But we're gonna be listening to a track from that demo. And lastly, a band called Skapt av Skog. Um, this is another one where it was recorded back in 1996, I believe, but never actually got released until 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Um, some of those members were in other bands, not a whole lot to report there. And it's not a terribly original demo, I'm not gonna lie, but it's cool. It's not a band name that comes up very often. So yeah,
All
let's
right,
get to it.
we'll be back. All right, we're black from the back. I mean, back from the black.
Right, we're black from the back. We're black from the back. Yeah, big ass.
So of these, my favorite is Imperium. But I think with more time with Bethsaida, that would probably become my favorite of the bunch, because that is. Paul mentioned the guitar tone, which is great, but I love like the Ulver-esque guitars on that, and the flutes just sounded really good on that.
Yeah, over was all over that.
Yeah. Varga Riket and Skaptav Skog are pretty different from each other. They're definitely not the most original bands that we'll be listening to today. But as a whole, both demos I actually really enjoy. So I thought they were worth including on here, even if they're not as immediately impactful as Imperium or as varied as Bethsaida. But that was all the 996 releases kind of lumped together.
Yeah, I just immediately love that guitar tone of Bethsaida and the way that it kind of sounds like a new pharmaceutical drug, Benzida.
Yeah,
And
Bethsaida. Consult your doctor.
side effects of depression, black metal recordings. I don't
The
know.
side effects are always like suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anal leakage.
Side effects, DSBM. Okay.
No, but yeah, the way that it really quiets down was really interesting. I'm kind of want to hear the whole release because just from that first second that we heard of that sample, I was like, oh, this is my favorite.
That's actually one of the few I don't own. I really like a copy of that. I don't think it's particularly rare. I just never really checked out Bethsaida till like a couple months ago and got their second album.
You heard
I just
it.
got the first.
That was the rare Freddy gasp I just did.
Yeah, you
Couldn't
guys
believe what I just heard. I don't know.
you guys heard it here. So not to dox Fred, but just send it over to Canada Way. And he'll find his way to him. Yeah, Canadian Post will be like, black metal dem, Fred.
They're like, oh, it's Fred. It's an envelope. What is it?
Usually paper.
It's usually just paper inside.
Weird. Very weird.
I don't know which one of these is my favorite. I kind of liked all of them pretty well. First one was cool Norsecore. I like that there were two guitars doing chords, but each of them doing different things.
Yeah,
And they were
one
kinda
was
doing that.
Yeah, one
in
was
the
so
back.
faint in the back with like the more melodic.
The jangly
chants.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty good. Bethsaida didn't really get a grasp on what that was going for. It sounded like some interesting stuff was happening right before the sample that we picked. And Paul's like, yeah, that one's great. And then it kind of went into this like neoclassical thing. Sounded promising. Didn't really get a good grasp on that one though. Vargaleket and Skopt off Skog. Those two I knew. And yeah, those two are a little bit more what you would expect. I might like Vargareket a little bit better. That one's more Burzum-ish. Skoptov, that one, I don't know how to put my finger on that one, but I do like that one. Poop Rock.
yeah.
The poop rock.
Yeah. All right.
From there we're moving swiftly into 1997. Starting with a band called Twin Obscenity. Now these guys, they might be a bit more well known than most of the stuff we'd listen to. They wound up releasing 3 albums.
Name
two of
sounds
them
familiar.
on-
Yeah, here I was thinking I was not a poser, but of course I know the most well-known band.
Well, they had 2 albums on Century Media, and the first album, which we'll be listening to, is on Head Not Found.
Where's my head, bro?
It's not found.
Got it.
Definitely black metal, some strong Viking metal influence on quite a few of the tracks. These guys actually go back to 1991, but they never actually released an album until 1997. And it's too bad they split up after their third album because they were actually really solid. None of the members really did anything
Gehenna?
worth picking up on. Yeah, except Dolgar was in there from Gehenna for a while. I don't know how long he was in there, but I think he does do some vocals on the first album that we'll be listening to. Does he? Hang on, I'm gonna look now because I'm curious. No, maybe not actually. Stand corrected. He must have joined after the album.
Oh.
So,
Oh yeah, 1997. Okay, got it.
yeah. From there, we'll be listening to a band called Natafal, who wound up changing their name to Mundanus Imperium. The demo is called Ode to the Night Sky. Cool, kind of very atmospheric demo. Very, I mean, you could draw similarities to maybe like old Dimmu Borgir or some of the more symphonic bands. Um, they did release an album called The Spectral Sphere's Coronation in '98, which I did listen to and remember thinking, wow, they shot the bed. Not Didn't like it. It's been a while. I should revisit it, but it's not something I was impressed with. Then we've got a band called Enchanted. These guys didn't do much either. I think the most well-known thing about these guys is that Iscaria was in the band, and he, aside from running Edge Circle Productions, was an immortal for the last part of their first stint. He was on Damned in Black and Sons of Northern Darkness. Sons of Northern Darkness being one of my favorite Immortal albums. So they have a demo called Breed My Sorrows. We're going to listen to a track from their '98 EP called Daylight's Wing Collides, whatever that's supposed to mean. This never actually technically got released. Edge Circle Productions put out a CD of it as a promotional copy, but never actually followed through with their plan to release it on vinyl. So the only copies that exist are these promo copies.
Which Fred happens to have one of.
I don't actually.
Oh.
This is another one
Sorry,
that I
bro.
currently own. And the last of the quartet we'll be listening to is a band called Antaios. These guys, I don't know what to make of their existence. They came about in the mid-'90s, or mid to late '90s, recorded one demo in 1998. 4 tracks, very well-produced black metal with kind of a death metal edge to it. And then they reissued that on a split, and then again on a different split. And that's all they've done. And they are still active. I did message the band's Facebook page a couple weeks ago, and they did respond saying, we're not doing much, but there's still a slight pulse. I'm like, okay, so you guys are kind of around. But yeah, it's actually a really solid recording for like some more brutal, more, I guess, I don't want to draw direct comparisons to Hate Forest, but they're more in that vein than most of the other bands we'll be listening to. So this will be a more varied quartet here.
All right, we'll be white.
right, we're back. Damn, what great bunch we have right here. First track, that nice slow Benny Morbid Angel riff. And all over with the riffs, there was like not really anything that stayed on for that didn't wear out its welcome. It just kept changing and changing, which was really good. Like everything behind the bendy part was evolving along with the track, and the second one, that one was like some really beautiful post black.
Very dreamy.
Very soft.
96, yeah, everything was very soft and rounded out. That was great. And then Enchanted kept that sound going. That was really great too. Not as dreamy as how do you say that? Mundanus Imperium.
Yeah, originally it was Natafall, so I just
It's actually
call it
Mund Anus.
Yeah, I got the I got the porno grind still in me, so I'm like
Mundanus.
Mundanus. But yeah, Enchanted was really good. Wasn't as like shoegazy, dreamy as that first one. And Mundanus, it's like it seemed like there was like a shift in like the drummers, like he woke up, like he was nodding off during the really dreamy section, and then he started doing all this crazy shit. But yeah, Enchanted had like those cymbal chokes going on, really kind of all over the place drumming, and Teus was definitely more streamlined of the bunch. It kind of reminded me of like the Imperium, but even more, I guess, unwavering from what they initially started out doing. Like that one kind of was the most consistent track. Like they had like the riff that was like.
On Teos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was like two chords.
Yeah, they're definitely the most straightforward of the four we listened to. But I brought up Hate Forest. That's probably a really shit comparison. I think we're closer.
No,
to
maybe not. Maybe not.
Marduk or Keep of Callison. I think Keep of Callison.
Keep of Callison. That's a good one. Forgot about them. Were they Norwegian too, or were they from like Germany or something?
No, they were Norwegian too.
Interesting. I forgot about them. Yeah, Keep of Callison.
They were great. Like that first album is fantastic.
I think that was featured in the Black Metal Trivia, where a friend got spanked by our other friend.
But if you guys are interested, we can move to the final four.
Yeah,
So-
quickly I can just say Twin Obscenity. That one almost didn't really sound like black metal. That kind of sounded like a lighter version of Morbid Angel or something. It had a lot of breakdowns in it. Interesting.
They're really
Yeah.
riffy.
Yeah, I think Paul kind of covered Mundanus Imperium. That was it post black metal in 1996. And I think the first three had the most like clear guitar riffs, and they were also doing a lot, which helped. Anteos was pretty clear, but that one was a little bit more on the like, you know what that kind of reminds me of, man? That kind of reminds me of like Fanisk or something. Somehow.
You can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, all pretty damn good stuff. The first three especially I really like. I think yeah, I would say I'm interested in checking out all three of those. Wasn't familiar with them. Anteos I was somehow. I didn't spend a lot of time with this, but I've at least come across it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can go into the final four.
All right. These will take us a bit further from the roots, just to shake things up a bit. First up is Eternal Silence, and these guys are much more melodic than what we've seen so far, and they have, we're not going to hear any in the sample, but they had female vocals and all that stuff. Funny that we mentioned, just brought up Keep of Callison because the bassist in this band wound up being the bassist for Keep of Callison when they reformed in the 2000s. Yeah, this band, I saw the cover of that demo from Beyond Time, ages ago, and it took me fucking decades to track down a copy of this fucking CD.
Cool.
But I finally got it like 4 years ago or so, and it's cool. Like it's if you're looking for more melodic Norwegian black metal, like Dismal Euphony maybe, that sort of thing, this'll be in up the same alley. Tidfall, these guys were around for actually quite a while. They started back in '92, but didn't really do anything till '95. Sorry, '97. Now they released a couple of demos, but we're actually going to go with their album from 2000. Nocturnal Art Productions, Semoth's label, put out some really cool symphonic black metal. I mean, obviously there's the they put out some of the Emperor stuff. We have Limbonic Art, Odium, Sirius from Portugal. Tidfall was on there for their first album, Circular Supremacy.
Sounds like you hit a pole.
Bong.
Boing.
And this album never gets mentioned.
No, it does not.
Cover is terrible.
No, it's not. It's a great cover.
It's terrible for black metal. It's not something that people
No.
who like true black metal are going to see and go, "That's what I need to listen to."
Nah, this is for the future, brother.
Yeah, and it is a very clean sounding album. It's very symphonic, very cool. I like this one a lot. Again, if you're into things like Sirius or Limbonic Art, Odium, this album should be right up your alley.
The Covenant.
Yeah, yep. Then we've got one of the I don't want to say generic, but I don't know how to pronounce these guys. Celebrate them.
Celebrate times, come on.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Fucking Snoopy at Knots, dude. Well, Fred's Canadian. I don't know if he knows that.
This is a 2001 album called Mirrored Revelation. This album just looks like it was made for the bargain bin. Like it's got the Azeroth Angel as the
Skyro
cover in
bin.
black and white. Their logo is kind of nothing.
The bargain.
Musically, like they are just black metal. Like just think of a Marduk clone and you're basically there. But it's well executed, so I chose to put them on here. And the last one, this is one's going to take us all the way to 2010. I wanted to stay in the 90s, but this band I dig, and they're very, very dark sounding on this demo. Sorry, not demo. This is an album. Hopeless Melancholy is the name of the album by Adversus Samhita. And this is the most modern version of DSBM you can think of. But the sound is just dismal on this thing. It's pretty cool. So on to Eternal Silence. fairly varied last little set, I think.
Yeah, super melodic with Eternal Silence. That was great. And then it was like almost like classically influenced riffing going on with Tidfall.
Mm-hmm.
And Sword Celebratum was really like you said, it's just kind of more like Marduk kind of sounding, but it did have like a certain aura around it, which not made it stand out, but definitely gave him sort of
Give a bit of an edge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one, that one's like really really interesting, especially the way that they kind of quiet everything down and then just come through with this like bulldozing double bass section. That was really great.
Is it fucking dark sounding?
Yeah, and it's not like the like so like torturous sounding DSBM that you hear where like everything else is kind of like I don't know. It sounds like it's played in like a abandoned asylum or something, and you just hear another guy screaming from another room. But like here, it was like very thick production. It's like still very woodsy. But
It feels like a very encompassing sound, like it surrounds you,
yeah, exactly.
which kind of makes it more horrific.
Yeah, what'd you think of that, Dan?
Eternal Silence was really good. I said in 2008 I would have been like pissing my pants. That was pretty good. All the all the changes are extremely good, and like I really like the use of the female vocals in there. Like everything is pretty riffy and like well put together for a symphonic black metal / melodic death metal kind of vibe there.
Yeah, they
Very
had a
cool.
really great. It was like transition at the end of a riff rather than like making it a whole different part. It just like stopped
Yeah.
on a dime and
Yeah, they kind
changed.
of just changed the keyboard part. That's all they really did.
Yeah, it was really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tidfall. That one I feel especially fond of. Fred, I think you introduced that at a couple years ago to us, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I've been very interested in that aesthetic of metal stuff where it's like futurism. I really
Yeah.
like that. Well, because it even says on their lyrical themes like science fiction, mankind, future, technology.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. I like those themes. It's sort of timeless, like because we never got there. I mentioned that with
Yeah.
the electronic thing. It's like that's sort of one of the cool things that makes that genre timeless too. And I said that, and Job's like, "Oh, everybody says that." It's like, yeah, well, it kind of. I feel like it kind of works. That idea. It doesn't really ever. It never sort of fails because we never get there. Celebratum. That one, yeah, it's a little bit more like mainstreamish, but it's pretty good. I can say it's pretty good. Adversus Semita, that one's just got a lot of cool atmosphere, and I feel like the drum beats there were kind of drawing me in a bit. As soon as it started, my eyes widened. That one's it just sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to add about that one, but it sounded really cool.
Yeah. It's a really dark sounding recording, and the demo that came before, whose name escapes me, but I have somewhere next to me, Ecstasy of Sin is really cool too. And they've released some stuff since then that I haven't had a chance to listen to yet, but the two that I have, I really, really enjoy. Worth digging into.
Yeah, and I'll say I think you did a good job picking a lot of different styles from Norway. I mean, you can already tell from like the biggest bands of their Dark Throne, Mayhem, Burzum, that there's already a variety at the top, including Immortal too,
Yeah.
with just the more, I guess, like mainstream bands. And you know, it's not necessarily bands on these more unknown circumstances that are like kind of coveting and seeking after those sounds, like being worship projects of it. Like, sure,
Yeah, we
there's
didn't
like
hear a whole lot of that.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
sure, there's a little inklings in there, but I mean, you're gonna get that in just black metal in general. But I think that this country has at second glance has a huge variety. So their sounds like at first when I think about it, I'm like, all right, there's all the bigger bands, and then there's like Norsecore, and then you get like Norweird stuff. But forget all the like Viking influence stuff, and then even the
The
more melodic.
Megadeth and symphonic shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like a lot of stuff that unfortunately maybe gets pushed to the side due to it just being such a well-known country for black metal.
It's such a staple that like people avoid, kind of. It seems
Yeah,
like.
it's like almost with like Swedish death metal. Like
Yeah,
you
exactly.
kind of just hear you would associate it with the like regional sound, but I think with black metal there's so much more ground to cover and ground that was covered from here, and they were kind of all individually doing their own things, maybe taking parts from other bands, but they may have just been not only listening to each other contemporarily, but listening to the same stuff that was before them. So like the more heavy metal stuff, thrash that you know either they leaned into like guitar technique wise, or
Hmm.
that they totally you know got away from and made really interesting music with. So I think this was a great sort of sampler. I'll definitely have to dive into some of my favorites here, just from the minute samples that we heard. There's a lot to take from, and a lot of listening for me to do. So good job, Freddie.
Good
Yeah,
job, Fred.
it was hard narrowing it down. There's so many bands I wanted to squeeze into here as well, but
Any honorable mentions?
um
Yeah, do the dump.
yeah, like there's a lot of bands that we know and love that started off as different bands um that are worth checking out. And this won't be a surprise to a whole lot of people. Like Thule from Take that we mentioned earlier. Ved Buenzend started off as Manes, a different Manes from the one that we normally know. Strid started off as Malfader, Thorns as Stigma Diabolicum. So things like that. Campfire starting as Mock, that was actually pretty cool as well. Um, Worth checking out. I didn't touch on like a few bands that we've covered in episodes before. Astaroth, Naglfar, and Incarnator are some of my absolute favorites, but I didn't touch on those because we've covered them in whole episodes before, so didn't seem worth it. Um, Abysmal and Carpathian Full Moon released albums on Avant-Garde that are really cool. Abysmal, much more occult, black doom, and Carpathian Full Moon is very clean, almost jazzy sounding at parts.
That one's great.
Yeah, it's really good. Um, there's two different Norwegian trolls. Um, the more well-known one has a really good demo and first album. The lesser-known one has a demo that's really solid. There's also a Storm that's not the folk one that was really good. Uh, Morgul released some albums on Napalm Records and a demo that's really good. Um, Perished, their uh, Black Mist, I think it's called, demo. It's really good. First album's really good too, and they had another one called Sade that was actually really strong as well. Enthrall, that was on Hot Records. Um, we all know the Odium album, but check out the demo because it's really fucking good too. Same with Embonic Arts early demos; they're great as well. Furs, FURZE, are a really weird one. Um, Started off fairly normal black metal, but they went like sideways really, really quickly. Um, Enthroned with Pre-Carpathian Forest. I think Grim was a related band as well that's worth checking out. Malignant and Eternal tends to get forgotten. Carpe Tenebrum are a bit more well known now that Nuclear War Now, I think, reissued their first album. Um, I forget what it's called, but either way, Carpe Tenebrum, really good. Thy Grief on Solid Stadium record released an album, and that was really solid. Bloodthorn tends to get forgotten about. Treldom kind of went a bit more avant-garde later
Yeah, they
on,
went
but their
hippie.
first album's really good. The demo as well. Keep of Callison, I keep like hammering on this one. Their demo and the first album are just fucking good. Second album was solid too. Inflabiton was a guy associated with Strid and Dodheimsgard. He actually wound up releasing an album in like 2021, but in the 90s he released 2 or 3 demos that are fantastic. I mentioned like early Mactatus is really good. Obviously Tullus. And some more recent bands too. Like I know most of this was devoted to the 90s, but like there's a really, really solid scene. Obviously like the whole Nidrosian scene. Min Niv, which translates to My Knife, has a really fucking good demo. Chaos Ritual is fantastic. Unholy Craft were really good. Kaivam, not unknown by any means, but Nature, whatever. Hands down one of my favorite albums of this millennium. Like after 2000, that is one of the top for me. So a lot of good stuff in there.
And then I'll say a lot of these bands, like when you think of Norway, think of like a bunch of exchanging members or at least a drummer getting tossed around everywhere. But it seemed like there was a lot less of that going on, especially with these more underground bands. So it kind of speaks to like how much bigger this scene was at the time than you would imagine. Beyond the like the main circle, So I think that's just really interesting too.
I mean, that honorable mention was my final thought. It was, it's one of my favorite scenes, and there's so much in there to dig into. So, like any other scene, but I think Norway gets unfairly maligned as just being those well-known bands, and people kind of ignore the rest.
All right, say something cool to end the episode.
Oh, you didn't have any closing thoughts?
Me?
Dan?
Nope.
No, I suppose not. You guys kind of nailed it, honestly. And I kind of gave my Paul kind of nailed it. Paul nailed it. I don't have any closing thoughts. Good, Fred. Good job, us. Paul kind of said the exact same thing when we all did this. Like, yeah, we picked stuff that had a lot of variety in it and touched on a bit of everything. So yeah, that was awesome. I'm definitely gonna check out some of this stuff.
Yeah, glad we got
Sweet.
the playlists of each of these, so you can dig in a little deeper, and
Woo!
I'll put those in the description for, the piggies to feast on.
What an amazing feat that we've done here on episode 150 to end perfectly.
And we've made it through the block.
Done.
We made it through. We'll have a nice guest episode for you guys next week, and then we'll have a couple of fun Paul episodes. So there you go.
Whoop, whoop.
Cool, baby.